Welcome to New Galaxy Broadcasting's next membership video, which will discuss our broadcast training opportunity. Your training through New Galaxy will give you hands-on actual experience in the online broadcasting business, but also involvement in creating alternative media. In our last video, we described our current programs. This video focuses on hands-on training, so let's get started. In our training, you'll be guided to doing research for subjects we will be broadcasting, how to format the show for hosts, guests, and board operators, how to contact subjects for future interviews, and how to use their material and ours to create dialogue with them. Also, we will help you learn how to create advertising, promotions, press releases, and social network scripts in conjunction with other providers and distribute that content. Members on the right level will get the chance to host or co-host a variety of programs. I intend to allow interested members to directly participate in our shows, to help them, if they wish, to create the foundation for their own career and avocational moves in that direction. Since most of these programs are basically topical or themed and involved in geopolitical and economic questions, sometimes extensive historical, legal, and political research will be required. The goal is always to produce the kind of programming consistent with the goal of truly informing and empowering citizens, as well as focusing on citizen and human rights. These include the right to health, freedom, and safety, in addition to the full range of inalienable rights acquired over centuries in America and many other democratic countries. On the other hand, besides this type of extensive research, certain programs will mainly focus on interviewing certain individuals. These efforts also involve research of a similar type, but less motivated with exposition by the host. Still, your job would be to provide him or her with any facts and questions related to the interview. Since our programs also involve commercials, public service ads, and music, both instrumental and songs, they must be formatted before broadcast. This kind of preparation involves choosing from research, ad, and music inventory and standard components of pre-recorded material like breaks, intros, and extras. Since the research may be extensive, choices must be made concerning the format as well as the creating of pithy but lucid commentary for the sake of the host. This is basic show preparation, a critical part of our efforts. Our programs will be involved in creating advertising packages consistent with New Galaxy Enterprises' media content mission. Therefore, scripts need to be developed for pod or webcasting, but also for online advertising in social networks and other venues. In addition, there would be website content, special promotions for companies, but also for possible books and music that we happen to sell. Press releases may also be part of these packages. Valuable skills can be acquired in this area and can be transferred into other areas of content development besides broadcasting. Most of our shows to date have had video promos, and members can be involved in creating those. Advertising and creating promos can be a lot of fun. There will be lots of opportunities for those working with us to meet impressive guests and explore fascinating topics. That's one of the great benefits of working with a company dedicated to providing programming that enrich the broadcaster as well as their audience. The most attractive part of our training to certain of our members will be the broadcasting division. Before we speak a little more about this, let's return to the early time of radio when it first came into existence in the private home of a Westinghouse engineer.
Back in 1920, in a dimly lighted room over his garage, Dr. Frank Conrad built and operated the first experimental broadcasting transmitter. Here, radio broadcasting was born. This brilliant Westinghouse scientist had no intention of going into the broadcasting business as he sent phonograph music over the air. He was working on the wireless telephone. But these first whispers of the voice of radio were not unheard as they were broadcast by Dr. Conrad. A surprising number of letters were received from unsuspected listeners, also pioneers, who had improvised primitive crystal sets. The world's first radio audience was in the making.
Back then, the early days of radio were exciting, but the technology of broadcasting was expensive and cumbersome. But now, with existing technology, broadcasts do not need the millions of dollars in radio or television stations to do live or recorded broadcasts. It's just amazing we can do this, especially when we are doing it for a worthwhile purpose. After all those decades of technology development, we now can do very sophisticated programming from our own homes. We need a computer, a decent microphone, a method like Skype where you can record video or audio, some broadcasting software that allows you to broadcast over the internet, or a connection to some kind of studio that can broadcast you remotely. You can also use a library of sound effects and music or a method of acquiring these elements when needed. And if you are webcasting, you might need a nice background or set to record them from, and some software if you need to bring people you are interviewing remotely on a screen. There are enhancements that can allow you to do various types of live broadcasting outside of your home. We are now seeking funding to expand our scheduling of some of our programs, create new programs, and broadcast them live on a regular basis. In addition to regular programs, we intend to create documentaries based on subjects related to the overall mission of New Galaxy Broadcasting, and also to create media programming for the Coalition of Planetary Empowerment. The programming for the Coalition will focus on programs and media content towards topics involved with initiatives and reports on government, business, and media coverage. As far as specific broadcast programs, our members will work their way up from hosting smaller segments as special guest hosts to co-hosting longer segments or whole programs. So if you're a candidate for developing alternative media on any level, please join us and we'll begin to work together. Thank you so much.